to another video. So, I've done a good number of videos with Llama 3.1 now. But one video that I'm quite excited about is using the 405B model with Aider because I want to check if it can create production-ready applications like what Claude 3.5 Sonnet makes. I mean, it should be able to create them since they compare it against the frontier models like GPT-4o and Claude. So, that's what I'll be trying out today. I'll only be using the 405B model, since that makes the most to be used here. Now, obviously, I can't host the 405B model because I'm not Zuckerberg, but I can use the API, and I'll be using the TogetherAI API for that since it gives a free credit, and it should be enough for us to try it out and check if it works correctly or not. So, it should be fully free if you also want to follow along. Now, what will I be creating, and what language will I be using? Well, I'll be using NextJS and Supabase, as I generally do with all generations. For what I'll be creating, I'll be making a simple Kanban-style project task management board, almost something like Trello. Also, just so we can make sure that the model is capable, I'll be limiting myself to creating the application with only 20 prompts, since that's the number it takes me to create something fully working with Claude. So, now let's get started. First, go to TogetherAI's site and get your API key from there. Once you have that, run the pip install Aider chat command. This will get Aider installed. Once that's done, we'll need to configure Aider with TogetherAI. To do that, create an environment variable in your terminal with this command for the OpenAI base URL, and also export your TogetherAI API key like this. Once done, you can start using Aider with the Llama-3.1 405B model with this command. But before that, we'll need to create a NextJS project here. To do that, let's just run the create NextJS app command. Now, once done, navigate to the folder. Now, let's start Aider over here. Let's send the first prompt here. Make sure that the prompt is detailed and to the point. Okay, it's now done. Although it says that it has not yet completed the code, let's ask it to complete it and give us the correct structure for the tables to create in Supabase as well. Okay, so it's now done. Here's the structure as well. Now, we'll first need to create the env file in the project. So, let's just do that. Let's enter these variables here. Once done, we'll need to create the database in Supabase. So, let's just do that. Okay, it's now created. I have also put in the credentials in the env file. Now let's create the tables in Supabase as well before we run the application. Okay, I have now also created the tables. So, now let's go back and run it. Okay, so when I run it, I'm getting this error. Let's ask Aider to fix it. Okay, it says that it's now fixed, but it's still not fixed. Let's try again. Okay, it says that it's now fixed, but it still doesn't work. After this, I tried 2 more times, and it didn't work. Ultimately, I checked the files, and apparently, the file it was importing on the page was actually never made. So, I had to tell it that. But then that error was fixed, but it is still not working. Now let's give it the error again. Okay, it says that it's now fixed, but it's still not working. This also went on for a while until I just asked it to remove the authentication part that was making the issue. So, now it's at least working. There was some issue with the authentication part of it. So, now it's working. The multiple boards also work, although instead of the move buttons, I want a drag and drop system. So, let's ask Aider to do that. Okay, it's now done. Let's see it. Okay, it now works fine. Although the whole thing is not looking very cool. So, let's ask it to make it cool. Okay, it has now done that as well. Let's see it. Okay, It has a glassy effect now, which is cool, and it works fine as well. Let's ask it to make it more cool. Okay, it has now done that as well. Let's look at it. Okay, it looks kind of wild now with the background animation and whatnot. The add form also appears with an animation now, which is also kind of wild. It really took a 360-degree turn in looks here. But anyway, I also had some other fixes in it as well. Although adding authentication again broke it, which doesn't make sense because I can't understand why it's happening. Also, a lot of errors happened in between. But anyway, here's the final thing. It took me a total of 20 prompts to generate. I didn't go above this mark since it wouldn't make sense. More than half of them were just error fixing, which apparently most of the time didn't work without me intervening and giving some more info about the error. You can see the boards here, and you can also add the stuff over here. It's just one page, nothing fancy. You can also drag and drop the tasks between each board as well, which is kind of cool. So, that's the application. But if I have to talk about the experience, then it's not good. The experience here was pretty bad. There were too many errors. I think with Claude, I would have been able to make something insanely better than this with multiple pages and authentication. Also, the issue that majorly appeared when creating applications with this model is that it cannot make multiple pages and link them correctly. It always forgot some page, or didn't generate it correctly, or didn't route it correctly. So, I think the context accuracy is not good here in this model. The Claude 3.5 Sonnet model remembered everything insanely better and did everything correctly in one shot. But this was a mess. So, I wouldn't recommend using the Llama-3.1 405B model for this task since it wouldn't make much sense, as the cost is almost similar as well. DeepSeek is better than this if you want to create applications, plus it's insanely cheaper, even cheaper than GPT-4o Mini. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this video, consider donating to my channel through the Super Thanks option below. Also, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye.